Hey everyone, Mr. MCA here. This is a lap guide for the new Olympic Lap Time Challenge taking place at Deep Forest Raceway with a fully stock Toyota GR010. To access this lap time challenge, going over to sport mode, so make sure you have menu book number 9 completed. Going over to online time trial and click on the lap time challenge that is on the left. So this is a 10-day event ending in the middle of May 7, 2023, where your goal is not only to get within the top 1.5% of the world record time to get the 4 million credits when the event ends, but to also qualify for the next stage of the Olympic Esports Series. You need to not only be the fastest driver in your country, you also need to finish as close as you can or even finish in the top 10 lap times. I will link all the information to this event in the description down below, as well as the replay that I'll be showing that will also be in the description down below if you want to check that out. But anyways, we have brake balance allowed, so you can adjust it as you do your time trial, but also the track limits are set to championship, which means that you cannot have more than 2 wheels cross the white lines that are on either side of the track. If you do that, your lap time gets invalidated. So this is going to be an extremely competitive lap time challenge, as there's a lot at stake here, which is going over to Singapore for the next stage of the esports challenge. So you're going to need to get your A+++ game out there for this lap time challenge. And some quick notes: to adjust your brake balance, go ahead and start a session, then press D left or D right on your controller to change the multifunctional display on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Once you get to brake balance, you can press D up or D down to change the values. For this lap time challenge, I am using +5 or 5 to the rear. That way I can get a bit more rotation from the car as I'm braking for a turn. And last but not least, to show you how strict championship track limits are, I'm going to go over the white lines on this turn, and the moment I go over the white lines, my lap time turns red, meaning it's invalidated, it's not going to count. So you need to be pretty careful about how you navigate through this track, because it can be really easy to just go up pixel past the white lines and your lap time gets invalidated. But now let's go ahead and get started with the lap guide. Again, the replay is available in the description down below if you want to check it out. Do not use 7th gear in the GR010, just stay on 6th gear, rev the heck out of this car, and your first braking point is when the curb on the right starts. So full braking power, just braking as much as you can, turning in at the 50 meter board, and start to make your way down to 1st gear for more rotation. Ease off of the brakes as you're reaching the apex, and once you're starting to exit the first turn, go up to 3rd gear and carefully get on the throttle. You want to try to straighten up the car as soon as you can, because the hybrid does deploy as you're exiting the first turn. Then look for the sign on the left, as that is your cue to brake and turn in, using around 25% braking power, trying to maintain as much momentum as possible, going down to 4th gear. Then before the grass on the left ends, turn in towards the left, use around 50% braking power, going down to 3rd gear. And do note that at some points throughout the lap, I let the car coast for a moment, so no braking, no throttle input. The car will turn in a bit more, and this will help me set up for the next turn, because I need to bring myself as much as I can to the left side of the track, as my braking and turning point is the end of this curb that is on the left. So go down to 2nd gear as you're starting to slow down, using around 75% braking power for a short moment, letting the car coast for a moment, and carefully getting on the throttle as you go up to 3rd gear. Then brake when the tunnel ends, using around 50% braking power and turning in right away, going down to 1st gear for more rotation, but exit on 3rd gear. And you have to be really careful getting on the throttle, as it's a bit of a blind turn right here. So you have to be pretty confident getting on the throttle as soon as you're about to enter this tunnel. Then you're looking for the track marshal on the right, as you can use them as your next braking point, using around 25% braking power, going on to third gear, and you're really trying to take advantage of the curb. You can even see that I'm just on the verge of crossing the white line, but luckily I stay within track limits. Getting on the throttle as soon as you can, and using the start of the bridge as your next braking point. So just like the first turn, you're going down to first gear, turning in when the bridge ends. So going down to first gear as you approach the apex, then get onto third gear as you exit the turn, and just be nice and careful getting on the throttle, making sure that you don't cross the white line so you don't end up invalidating your time. So just rev the heck out of this car. Going up to 6th gear, don't use 7th gear, and your final braking point is the 150 meter board. Brake as much as you can, looking for the end of the curb that is on the right, as you want to turn in before the curb ends. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to let the car coast for a moment, so no braking, no throttle input. The car will turn in a bit more. This will help me to get the car straightened up for the exit of the hairpin, and as soon as you hit the apex, go up to 2nd gear and try to get on the throttle as soon as you can. Again, just making sure that you straighten up the car before you fully accelerate your way out. The last turn can be taken flat out, and that is it for this part of the lap guide. Now I'm going to go through all of it, but without stopping the video. Alright, so here we are getting ready to start the lap. So stay on 6th gear, do not use 7th gear, just rev the heck out of this car. Brake when the curb on the right starts, going on to 1st gear for more rotation, but exit on 3rd gear, and be really careful getting on the throttle as a hybrid will start to deploy as you exit the first turn. Look for the sign on the left, as that's your turning in braking point. Trying to maintain your momentum while staying in between the white lines. Brake when the curb on the left ends. Being really careful getting on the throttle. Just try to stay nice and tight for this long right turn. Getting on the throttle as soon as you can on 3rd gear. Then go up to 4th gear, but back down to 3rd gear for this left turn. Getting really close to the track limits. Braking when the bridge starts and turning in when the bridge ends. Go down to 1st gear for more rotation, but exit on 3rd gear. Getting the car straightened up as soon as you can as you're getting on the throttle. And again, just trying to stay in between the white lines so you don't get your lap time invalidated. And for the final hairpin, braking once you reach the 150 meter board. Turning in before the curb on the right ends, letting the car coast for a moment on 1st gear for more rotation, and exit on 2nd gear. Get on the throttle as early as you can, and just try to maintain a nice tight line as you make your way towards the start finish line. So with this lap time, I was able to get a 1:15.855. Yeah, this is a really difficult lap time challenge, and it's going to be really competitive, especially as there's a lot at stake here. So again, I'll have the information about this event in the description down below. My replay will be linked in the description down below as well, or you can use the in-game tags missed MCA, MCA time, and time trial in the game if you want to access this replay. But that's all from me. Take care. This is Mr. MCA, and I'll see you in the next video.